Right. So the first quote I want to share before we go into a discussion is that it's by Mark Cuban. Now, how many of you know him? I don't know, but he's crazy. Okay, the things that he says and he gets away with, he's crazy. But he's crazy in a good way. He makes people step out of their comfort zone and makes them do things which they have never would have done. Okay, and he kind of inspires people in a way that I have not seen many people do it. He puts the hard facts out there in front of them and challenges them to prove him wrong. And he loves it when he's proved wrong, right? That's what he says. So what he tells is, it's basically, and people who have had a relationship with him, I've read a lot of people who have had a relationship with him, and what they say about Mark is that, the way he challenges them, the way he takes them to the next level is fantastic. And one of the things that he tells about relationships is that business happens over years and years. Value is measured in the total upside of a business relationship, not by how much you squeezed out in any one deal. Now, if this is not farming, then what is farming, right? We're squeezing everything out of a single deal is called hunting. And this is where I see a lot of challenge in our chapters. A lot of members come into the chapter thinking about what they can squeeze out of the members in the chapter. Have you noticed that? Right? What can we squeeze out of the members in the chapter by doing business with each other, not through each other? So that's the shift we need to create. We need to create a shift of making them understand that you can do years and years of business with each other if you are ready to focus on the what? On the upside of building relationships and understanding that relationships can actually contribute better for your businesses, right? So this makes sense, right? The saying makes sense, a lot of sense. Yes or no? What do you think? Type it out. Yes or no? In the chat box. Yes. Very good. So what we measure, what is the upside of a relationship in BNI? The upside of a relationship in BNI is basically thank you for close business. That's what we are looking at, right? Are we creating a good impact in each other's lives in terms of creating an upside through more close business for each other? Are we able to do that? Now, how can we do that? Okay, so traditional way to calculate average seat is to calculate average seat value of the chapter by dividing total business by the number of members, right? Presidents, I'm sure when you speak out, you're cringing inside, right? When you see the average seat value is so much, 100,000s of riyals, and then you know that more than 60% of the chapter is not even anywhere near that figure, right? And it's painful when you have to read it out because it's part of the script, right? So what is the advantage and disadvantage of this? Like the traditional way, where we are focusing on, we can't change it. Okay, for example, we cannot change the script, but what are the advantages of the script being there, but what are the disadvantages? So obviously one of the disadvantages is not everyone in the chapter is aligned with that reality, right? That number is not aligned for everyone. What else are the disadvantages and what are the advantages actually? So what would be the first advantage? Anybody who wants to kind of open the mic, we'll give a chance to 2-3 people. Or do you want me to give you what are the advantages? Come on, let's open your mic. What happens when somebody hears? So when you came into BNI as a visitor and you heard that, oh, per seat average value, what happened to you? It inspires people to become a part of your chapter, right? It's part of the sales pitch, for sure, right? It's a part of the sales pitch. But the fact also is, it's not just part of the sales pitch, it's also a part of the motivation we can give, the inspiration we can give to motivate our members. There are people making money in the chapter. Where is this business going to? The business is coming to members. If not, they will not raise a thank you for close business. So it does inspire people to stay on and hustle, right? That's another advantage. But what's the disadvantage on this?
You will not exactly know how much one member is actually making.
Yes, that is there. But then one of the disadvantages also that when we see this, say this figures just like that.
It used among the chapters.
That's a very good point. We do not know how much each member is making because we do not have the reports for it. Like I have told almost every one of you, right? I cannot see any report. I do not know how much money you have made till you open your app and show me how much money you have made.
It can also lead to a dissatisfaction, right? Because if we are saying that other members are making 1.2 million, a member who may have not got even a single business will feel, why the hell am I in BNI? No, sorry, pardon my French, but that's the thought that would come to their mind.
It's true, because what it also shows is that it also creates a feeling that my category is not well suited for BNI. Have you heard members saying that? I had a member who came for the coffee with the ED last week, tell me that nobody in BNI wants tanks. How will I increase my business? I said, obviously nobody in BNI needs your tanks. Only fire people needs your tanks, right? Shakib, when he came, and then I showed him where he should be aligning. And then suddenly he said, yes, Shabib, I have not made these asks in the chapter. And then he realized that, I think he had a good feature presentation last week. And he's promised to start working on the relationship. But the focus is, sometimes these numbers also don't make people take up action because they don't believe those numbers can happen to them. How many of you have seen business owners who are like, I need to struggle, I need to take a lot of effort, I have to go through fire and come back to win in life? How many have heard that business owners say that? A lot of business owners also come and tell you, right? I'm starting a business, it'll take 3 years for me to make money. And I look at them, then why are you starting the business? If you're already making money, why are you taking yourself through a situation where you'll only make money after 3 years? So a lot of these things happen. So what are we changing, right? What are we changing? There is still space on the screen. There's something that's going to come. What are we changing? So what we are changing is, I am introducing something called effective TYSV. Okay, what is effective TYSV? Okay, for effective TYSV, we'll be looking at the minimum amount of business received by a chapter member. Okay, what is the minimum business any member in the chapter has received? So it's about, it's like a fuel gauge. Where is the fuel gauge at? And that fuel gauge will only stop at the point of the lowest business closed in the chapter by a member. Who's more than 6 months in the chapter within the last 12 months. So any member who's there for more than 12 months, more than 6 months, but we are only taking the business closed in the last 12 months. Okay, more than 6 months old member, business closed in the last 12 months. We'll take that figure and we'll see where is the minimum number. Who has got the minimum business? And then what's our focus? Our focus is to increase this so that the minimum business in the chapter goes up. You know what made me do this? There was a challenge in the Phoenix chapter where we had to kind of step in and coach to take a decision. And I had a meeting with a member who was having a challenge and where we were facing certain things. And he is a fantastic giver. He's a gem of a person. He has helped me in a lot of things that I wanted, right? But he was having such a big issue with some of the guidelines. I kind of stepped in and asked what happened. And then, because I know that when somebody is objecting, the objection might not be the reason they are objecting for. There's something deeper. Okay. I sat with him, I had a chat with him, and I went in. Then he told me openly, Shabib, I am branded as a giver. And I'm not able to gain anything. I have helped people get 8 million riyals in business. And the business I got in my membership over the last 3 years, 4 years, is 100,000 riyals from BNI. A BNI member who has given 8 million riyals worth of business, only gaining 25,000 riyals average per year. I was shocked. What are you guys right now? Are you shocked or not? Right? I was shocked. I asked him, why didn't you reach out? So the challenge I saw was, sometimes people get trapped by the adulation that is given to them. Okay. People take action and others see them doing phenomenal things, and that action is creating results for others, and the adulations come. But in that adulation, there is a lot of sorrow by the person receiving it because he's not able to create the same results for himself. And that is a very painful place to be in. We cannot let that happen in BNI Qatar. We cannot have a person who is helping so many people, any person for that matter, who is helping other people get so much amount of business, who's in green, who has consistently focused on being in green, but this pain point was making him go down. And then again, he's taking an effort to come back on green by giving, but inside there is a cry for help, but we are not hearing it because it's not coming out. It's only coming out when we have a friction situation, a situation where we need to step in and enforce the policies, and the person feels, oh, nobody is there to hear me now. I did so much things, but the policies of BNI is bigger. Of course, the policies of BNI is bigger, but Again, the policies should not be used like a sword. It should be used to encourage people to step forward and win. And that's what we have to do. So this is what we're going to talk about. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of setting the effective business? For one, we'll need more transparency, right? We'll have to ask a few people, please tell us how much business you've received. How many of you are comfortable with that question? I wouldn't ask you that question, but what we are taking as an action with the Phoenix chapter right now, and Aji and Usman and Rishad has been very, very cooperative in taking this forward. They have actually formed a group with all the leadership team members, the MC members, and the coordinators. Aji, what do you tell them to make that group? What was the communication that you had to help make that group? I'll give you a chance, Mansoor. Yes.
Basically, this is a group of all the crew members, basically. And what we're trying to see is to get into, make sure that everybody, when we are reading the vision, we are saying that we need to have 1 million real every year. But again, as the reality happens, it is not there. We have millions turnover, but again, not per member. So we are trying to see how we could make it accessible for each and everybody.
So one of the steps which we have taken right now is that we have created a link for an in-chapter survey where members are requested to share the data on the login screen of your BNI Connect app, in which it shows the figures for the 12 months. So once that figures is reported, we'll see exactly where the effective TYFCB is, and then we can take action on that. Manzoor, you want to share something, please? Go ahead.
Yes, of course. In our chapter, as you know, I went on and asked all the members the amount of business that they gave and received, and I prepared a data in an Excel sheet mentioning this. On the chart, row 1, I had the amount received business by each member against which they gave to others. And there were few people, let me repeat, there were few people who have given multi-folds of what they have received. And there were few people who have received at least 20, 30, 40 times of business that they have given. Some people, they have not given 0 business, but gained 300 to 400,000 riyals. So I wanted people to understand the see. Here, I'm glad that it's only, this session is attended by the LT. Now, we put that extra effort to manage and guide our members and chapter. Now, doesn't mean that we also we spend so much of time and put efforts and we don't have any benefit from our membership. So this is very crucial. So that is the reason I put this. I send this message to everybody. I ask them to check in their BNI app and give me the exact figure. And I also try to tally with the total figure. What is the total business received and given? So that people feels and they take the ownership. They feel that, okay, I've gained so much. One member has gained about 500,000 riyals and given 3,000 riyals. So let everyone see that. It's not to put them into shame, but everybody is important in a chapter. So this is what I'm going to do that again. I did that in the month of March, I guess. I'll do that again and see that if people really don't contribute, I think we need to take some steps from the BNI region office also. Thank you.
Okay. So one of the things is, yes, we can do this from the regional office side, but the effort has to be headed by you guys in your chapter, because it's about you as leadership team taking ownership of this exercise. We are here to coach you. Don't worry about it. We are here to help you get this done. Any resources that is available from our side, we are more than willing to do that. I'm sure all the entire DNA team is also on board with this. But the fact here is, if you don't do it in your chapter, we can't make it happen. Now, you know that we don't even have the DCs and the ED in the 3 chapter groups that is there for the earlier chapters. Only in the newer chapters we are there. And we'll be exiting from that very soon. Once we hand over to the next LT and we say the chapter is on a growth path, we will be exiting from those chapter groups. Because we want, what is the reason for us to step out of the chapter groups? It's because we want the leadership team to get the ownership and the privilege of mentoring and coaching these great people that are around you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a breakout room.
Yeah, yes, yes. I have said,
yeah. Please go ahead.
Now I think I have slightly different viewpoint on this actually.
Yeah.
I would say I think we should focus on we should not focus on how much they receive. Because BNI is about givers gain. We should focus on how much everyone gave. So I think if somebody has not given, I think we'll have to tell them you have to give. And next point I would say is, for some people 10 million could be a small value. For some people 10,000 could be a bigger value. So yes, their business is completely different. So generalizing the value and how much it's received. Actually, I would be, everybody's here for business to get. So
Very
my
true.
point
Very
only
true.
yeah.
Very true. Which is why we are putting the value of effective TRSV as a regional goal at 1.2 million. Because 1.2 million might be even a part of the turnover of a month for some people. For some people, it could be the entire yearly, turnover. The fact is, are they happy with their TRSV? At the end of the day, we are not just looking at the number to understand who's not giving or who's not giving. We are never going to ask any person who has received a lot of money the reason why you're not giving. We are not going to ask them for that. What we are going to ask them is, we are going to ask the ones who are having the challenge of gaining. Okay, please understand, at the end of the day, the ones who will make the cry are the people who are not getting. That's what you have to understand. The survey, the ones who will respond are the ones who are in pain. And it's those people that we have to help to gain, because there might be a knowledge gap. And a part of that, so what you said, Tulsi, is perfectly right. I'm really on with you on this, because the system is already geared towards making these receivers givers, right? Because of traffic lights, that's what make it does, right? But then the ones who are not gaining and they are giving a lot, we need to help them, right? We can't ignore them. So how do we reach out to those people? How do we get to those people who are not gaining enough as per their expectation and bring it forward? All right, but let's just look at the
moving. I just want to share a small experience what I've been doing on the subject.
Yeah.
I've been trying to meet many people who've been always saying about the support what they get and they give. And when getting into detail, what I realized is one of the point what you've been touching before. What they do is, many of them are taken about 3 or 4 quotations from the market. Then they will they'll see what is the market pricing. Then they will be contacting one of the BNI member. Then they will be asking them, okay, this is the quotation I have. What can you do? So end of the day, the lowest quotation is what he will be referring to, and he will be asking the member to undercut the price, the quote, and take the business forward. Simply, I can say he gained at that point itself, rather than giving another side. And vice versa, when I hear this one, I had my one-to-ones with the other parties as well. And I realized that they said, sir, we do it because it is BNI. Otherwise, we will not do it for outside. Fine, thank you, we got the business. But that business is more of a support the fellow member than adding a value to us.
That's a great point. What we are not looking for is not support as in subsistence level business. What we are looking for is value creation. And we really need to weed out such sentiments. If there is a situation where such things are being practiced, I would rather not have that person in the chapter. Yes, he might be a great giver, but what is the intention of the give? So what we call, what we say is niyat. What is the niyat? What is the intention? If the intention of the give is not the right thing, then the give gets, the give gets a lot of recognition, but the give is not really working out. I know there's a lot of things that we'll need to discuss, because this is a touchy point, and I'm starting off this conversation from today. We need to talk about this. This cannot be solved in this one meeting. It's a evolution that will happen. I'll give Ayman a chance before I proceed. Ayman, chance for you, but then I'm going to proceed, and we'll have to close the mics for the meeting to finish on time. Yes, Ayman, please go ahead.
It is not as you said always, Mr. Shabib, I am right, you are wrong, or I am wrong, you are right. Exactly. I totally agree with Mr. Tulsi, and that does not mean I disagree with Mr. Manzoor. Okay, please don't misunderstand me. As Ajay said, okay, I'm sharing my personal experience. Yes, I'm getting very good business as a travel agency, because the travel, it's everybody need. But believe me, guys, as Mr. Shabib advised me, focus in what you are giving, not in what you are receiving. If you want to double and triple your business receiving, give more business. And that's what I'm doing this year. First year is different. Second year, with BNI is different. I'm sure the third year it will be different. So that is the secret. Give, give, give. Back to you, Mr. Shabib.
Every day with BNI is different. Okay, every day there's a new viewpoint that we get. There's new learning. There's new empowerment that we get. You know, if there is one thing that I'm practicing with BNI is what can we do to improve by 1% per day. If we can improve by 1% per day, by the end of the year we would have improved 37 times. So that's what we really have to understand. Now, looking at the screen right now, how can a member increase the amount of business they are gaining through BNI? So what are some of the things that we can do? Okay, let's look at this. And you guys will type yes or maybe or no. Okay, and maybe is a no. So it's yes or no. Okay, when I share something on the screen, if you feel that is a yes, then it's something that we can do. Okay, so how can members increase the amount of business they're gaining through BNI? So first thing that I see is better understanding the core values, like what Ajit just said in terms of some members taking the lowest quotation and doing things. Do you think it is aligned with the core values that we are doing, where we should be actually helping a member succeed? So isn't there things that we can do to get members to understand the core values better and take action and start behaving in a way that it actually gets it amplified? Yes or no? So type it out in the chat box. What do you think? Yes or no? Yes, right? So core values are a great way to take this ahead. All right, so looking at the next point, better attendance in meetings. The ones who are giving are the ones who are attending the meetings well, has less substitutions, are on time, right? Those people are usually great givers. The ones who are receiving, not all of them, but most of them who are receiving and are in black are not there in the meeting, because many of their businesses are businesses that everybody wants. Like even if you put a dummy in the seat, you still get referrals. There's a minimum number of referrals you'll get, right? We need to hold such categories more accountable. We need to actually look at the renewals of such categories more strictly. We need to ensure that there are business owners in such categories than employees. There are some sectors where this is very applicable, and I'm sure all of you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to pick it up and kind of say that Shabib said that your category, you're not. So we need to realize this, and we need to have a collective discussion on yes or no, right? This happens, right? Ensuring the ask. Now, many of the people who are not receiving the business, one of the things I've seen is they keep on repeating the ask. They're not prepared for their success. They come with the same weekly presentation, a lot of challenges around that. Yes, this is also, yes, exactly. Not only physical presence, mental presence is also very important. Do they give referrals to the fellow members? So this is about not just gaining, like the green members give, but they're not gaining referrals, right? So the reason why they're not gaining referrals also is sometimes people make their business look so complicated that you're afraid that you won't be able to give them a referral that will meet their expectation. How many have had that challenge? Like you see this guy in your chapter, you're in awe of him because of the way he presents himself and everything, and very technical, very high-powered guy. And then you're actually scared to give him a referral because you fall short of what he's expecting. There are people like that, right? So one of the things I tell people, tell a lot of the members is you're making your business look complicated unnecessarily. You're unnecessarily making it look complicated in front of others. Keep it simple. Because if you make it keep simple, then referrals will follow. Yes or no? How many of you have felt this? Right? Sometimes you do a one-to-one and you're like, why didn't you tell me this before? I didn't know it was so easy to pass your referral. Have you had that instant, like you were never able to give a referral to somebody listening to his weekly presentations, but the moment you did a one-to-one with him, suddenly you have a flow of referrals for that person? Yes or no? Yes, it happens, right? Doing effective one-to-ones, very important. Referral meetings and referral taking. So what is effective one-to-ones? One-to-ones should be a meeting where the two people who are involved walk out with 3 referrals each. They have to walk out with 3 referrals each. Otherwise, it's not a one-to-one, it's a coffee meeting. Okay, let's stop labeling coffee meetings as one-to-ones. If you're not walking out with 3 names that you need to follow up on and the other person needs to follow up on, it's not a one-to-one meeting. And what happens after that? After that, you take each other on referral meetings, or what we call as referral dating. So Sanish, you want to share your dating experience with us, please? I'll give you a chance to do that. Please.
Thank you, Shabib. In fact, this week was so productive. I had a BNI dating with one of my teammate. So in fact, I had a very good customer of mine, and he was like badly looking forward to connect with him. So we engaged. We agreed on one of our one-to-one meetings that we will be going on a dating. And so I took him to one of my customer, and it was so productive for him. He was trying to barge in, connect with that customer, but he couldn't do that. But in my presence, it was very easy for him to connect it, and they agreed on starting with the new projects. And very immediately, he told Sanish, I have something to take you. And the same moment, he took me to a customer where I was looking for. And even it was not in my mind that he will connect me there. And that too, not to the person which normally I connect with, the logistics team. He took me directly to the CEO, and he told him, this is my guy, and please connect with him. And that's immediately, within I would say, it didn't take me not even 10 minutes to put my efforts. The very next day, I got an RFQ, with that to a big tender.
These things work. It's just that we're not doing it properly. You know, I really have to appreciate the winners chapter for taking what we are giving them and doing it. You know, you guys are doing an amazing job of listening to us and doing it. You know, one of the things that I really request the leadership team and for you to encourage your members is not to decide whether what we are asking you to do will create a result or not. It's just do it and get back to us with the results. Because once you get back to us with the results, we can tell you how you can improve that results. Does it make sense? Yes? Makes sense, right? So just do it and then tell us, Shabib, what you said didn't work. I'll coach you on how it will work. Because what we are telling you are things that will work. It's learnings over 36 years, okay, that we are helping you to do. Now, what is the other thing? Participating in learning activities. Now, right now we are learning. Okay, coffee with the ED, it's learning. Trainings, it's learning. So participate in learning activities. When you participate in learning activities, what happens is you will see that people start becoming more effective. What happened with the MSP? Why did those numbers in the region go up? Because people started learning. The baseline of combined knowledge is going higher. When that happens, that's when nations were built. Now you tell me whether BNI, your businesses can be built, whether it can be built by that or not. You know, just to give a perspective, you know, when India got independence, okay, just because I'm an Indian, I know the history of India, I just want to share this. What Jawaharlal Nehru did, the first Prime Minister of India did, was he set up the best engineering institutes. He set up the best agriculture institutes. He set up the best hospitals, hospital trainings, you know, medical colleges. What he said is, for a nation to grow, we need the right information, the right education, people with the right education. That's what I'm telling you guys also. For us to grow, our combined knowledge needs to go up. When that goes up, the result of what we are able to do will be much more impactful. Make sense or not? Yes or no? Yes, right? That's what it is. Now, the final point that I want to share is, as leadership team, what can you do as a team to build the effective TYFCV?